All right, folks, you already know what it is, man. We wish we could say this is a victory week. We wish we could say this is victory Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but nonetheless, your boys in the blue, red, and white are back in the zone with VNZ. I'm your boy Val.
It is Cyrus. I normally start with the big dubs, but you're right, man. We can't even big dub it, man. We big L's over here, dog.
Big L's, but we want to know right now because we got our guy Joseph Brady taking over the reins, which we'll get into. So, in honor of his tweets, every time we win a game, 1-0, he was 1-0 with his latest press conference. So, shout out to the new head coach, and we're gonna get into it. But before we get into the whole coaching situation, obviously we didn't record last week, so we didn't have a whole recap on how things ended in Denver. We don't have to get too deep because I think most people who watched the game felt the same type of pain we did. That hurt, right? That feeling that we all know, which is like, oh, we lost a game that we should have won. Okay. 5 turnovers, overtime, 3-point loss, unnecessary turnovers. It was a lot going on in that game. So, Z, I'm gonna pass it to you real quick. I just want your last thoughts on just how the season ended and just your thoughts on how things came to a close.
Just find new painful ways to lose, bro. It's just like, yo, let me. We're gonna take the L, but we're gonna find the most painful way for you to lose. It's just, you know what? You're gonna have these turnovers. You're gonna be up early, have all these turnovers, be down, make your way back, come back, take the lead, lose the lead, tie it up, all that to lose in overtime on some questionable cause. So like they just find new ways to just be like, yeah, here's your heart, Z. Yeah, let me take that, let me squish that, and then I'm gonna stump on it for good measure.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm gonna let New England get to the Super Bowl playing backup quarterbacks on top of that. So it's like not only do we take the L in a painful fashion, then you just see how the rest of the AFC play out. It's like, come on, I mean, this fortunate ass team in here flying to the Super Bowl. But either way, back to the Bills. It was, they beat themselves. Obviously Denver played a good game too, because I mean, they don't turn the ball over by themselves. But it was self-inflicted wounds that got them in the situation that it was. You gave away 3 points at the end with just a terrible fumble. I mean, James Cook, granted, 100% beautiful foreign tackle, but you can't drop the ball. I mean, you up with the chance to go up multiple scores early in the game. You can't lose the ball there. You have to walk away with points, and that is where the game changed. So like the turnovers there, like that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. The defense actually did come up with some stops for you, and 100%. Unfortunately, the offense wasn't able to hold up their power. Yes, we probably wanted another stop in overtime, but again, 3 and out in overtime, I expect the offense to be able to go in there and win the game, and it didn't happen. And unfortunately, it cost McDermott his job, that the team wasn't able to pull it out. As I said when it happened, like it's unfortunate that it happened now, just because, in my opinion, this probably was, if not his best, one of his best coaching seasons. Yeah, but 100%. When you look at the totality of the 9 years of not being able to get over that hump, I can understand why it happened. It just sucked that it came after this one. Yeah, after this one. Yeah, but it probably was time.
It was brewing. And I'll piggyback off that because, like I said, I didn't want to come into this episode with everything else going on and talk too much about the Denver game, but I kind of felt the same way, man. It was another painful loss. I just remember sitting back on the recliner I was on and just like covering my face because I was just like so hurt to experience another painful way of losing. Catch, no catch, whatever you want to say, the turnovers when they came, we always talk about situational football. That's why I was glad to hear that in this latest press conference. But like, there was just so many minor mistakes. But I say it all the time, man. Like, this is a game where every single thing matters, man. Whether it's a first down that you don't get because you don't reach over, whether it's a turnover that man, your knee was just above the ground. So now it's ruled a turnover. And whether you make a decision with 16 seconds left in the first half to attempt to go down the field when you have no timeouts, every critical decision, every time you tuck the ball, everything matters. So like the Bills found themselves in a situation, kind of like you mentioned, where they fought back, clawed back, had the lead up 4 with less than 5 minutes to go. And now you're asking your defense to get one stop. Now, unfortunately, injuries happen. You miss a player out there for a player or two, and you get scored on twice in that game.
First
Having
play, as soon as they touch the field.
having one of your starters out the game. So like anything that could go wrong, unfortunately, did go wrong. And
Unfortunately, as soon as they scored that touchdown on Dane, I was like, damn, Val's main man.
yeah, I mean,
As soon as he touched the field, I said,
yeah.
damn.
How many times I came on here and talked about Dane, but we joked about it, but like it goes back to real quick what I've said about this team 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Like the depth to me wasn't the same. Now we didn't know that the draft, we didn't know that the injuries would hit the Bills like it did, but I always thought that our depth just wasn't up to par to what we saw the last 4 or 5 years. Like I remember a couple years ago, I remember going through training camp, like, yo, this team 1 through 90 is tough. 1 through 90, I'm putting it up against any team in the league. Like this year, I went into it, you know what I mean? Preseason showed the true facts too. It's like, oh, they backups really, they backups. I hope they don't have to play their backups. And then what happened? First half of the year, backups had to start playing. This man go down, that man go down, this man go down. Second half of the year, same thing. You get some guys come back, and this man go down, and that man. So like our depth was tested all year because of injuries, and we just did not have that depth. We filled up a lot of practice squad spots with veterans, but those veterans were past their prime, right? Dane Jackson was never a fucking great corner, but he was our last outside boundary corner that was left on the practice squad. We had to scrape to get a safety from another team with Darnell Savage and other guys. So like I always felt iffy about our depth. But in that game, it really showed you like, wow, like this is where it gets hard because normally, I mean, Cam Lewis left the game. Normally, that's Cam Lewis stepping up in that situation where Darnell Savage was at and making a play,
Right.
or at least being in position. The play that Dane Jackson got scored on, that's normally a young cat who we trust to be able to make the play. I'm not going to say Jamarcus Ingram, but normally we have a third or fourth boundary corner who we feel okay about to make a play there. You know what I mean? And we know Maxwell Harrison getting hurt in the last regular season game, that hurt us. Because I will say, if we play that game with a healthy Maxwell Harrison, a healthy Jordan Poyer, whoever, I feel we probably get a couple more stops. And that's not to say that it was all on the defense, but give me Maxwell Harrison in that game.
I feel a lot better about it. I put it like that.
You know what I mean? So, but again, can't turn the ball over. You can't let the refs have a say in those kind of games because in the playoffs, all you need is a ref to spot the ball wrong, which we are familiar with. All you need is a ref to jump in and say, whoa, 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 too much celebration. That's a penalty. Whoa, 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 you touched this helmet. That's a 15. Like the refs at times are waiting to make that call. So when it's that close, and we did a good job in Jacksonville, I don't want to lose sight of how we came away with that game in the wild card round because that was executed at a high level. And that's why I want to give McDermott, Josh Allen, all those guys credit because in a wild card game, on the road, in a hostile environment, because Jacksonville was revved up, we played that shit perfect, bro. We played that shit perfect. And I want to make sure like we don't lose sight of how well they played in that first game.
Right.
It's just divisional round, all the chips on the table, you gotta win that game. Especially if you got Josh Allen on your team, you got James Cook on your team, and they got Bo Nix and fucking who they running back. You know what I mean?
RJ Harvey.
Come on, bro. You can't let them motherfuckers 33 points. Like, and it's not a knock on the defense, but If I'm Josh Allen and James Cook, Joe Brady, whoever, I have to outscore you motherfuckers. And y'all almost did it because y'all didn't punt the ball. Y'all just turned the ball over. Y'all missed opportunities, missed throws. So frustrating from that standpoint. But again, this is why I always say, being a Bills fan, I take pride in it, because there's nothing you can tell me. There's nothing you can do to shake me. There's nothing you can do to be like, oh, you this, you that. Like, bro, the amount of we go through as fans,
right?
Man, stop it. So, anywho, before we go to coaching too, I do want to ask your opinion, because we got to give our opinion on the Super Bowl, because I don't want to save that for last. We got Seattle. Obviously, shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Shout out to all the legends that went through Seattle. Russ Wilson, all them up. Seattle versus New England, man. Anything? I know that Pats is the ops, but man, how you feeling about that?
Seattle.
All right, plain and simple. I feel the same way. Go Seattle. You know what I mean? I'm taking the spread too. I think the spread last time I checked was 4.5. I got Seattle by 7.
Yeah, I think it'll be bigger than that.
I mean, I hope so. Shit, I love it to be an embarrassment.
Yeah, I think it'd be bigger than that.
Oh, me Diggs on the sideline, man.
I got a feeling New England's not going to be able to figure out how to stop that offense. I just think the way that offense is humming right now, the way JSN is just putting up Madden-like numbers.
That's gonna be a great matchup, though. Him and Gonzalez, though. I like.
I mean, they move him everywhere, man. Unless they're ready to put Gonzalez everywhere that he go, it's gonna be hard to even stick when they put him in the slot. They put him in the backfield. They put him in line. They put him everywhere. So like,
shout out to Kubiak.
Yeah, it'll be fun though. I mean, New England offense ain't terrible. So
not, but Seattle
just going up against the best defense in the league, in my opinion.
Seattle defense is real.
Yeah, so let's see what they do. And if New England can come out of this one and beat them, then kudos to them. I'd have a hard time seeing it. I think Seattle is favored for a reason. At the end of the day, can Seattle go one more game before Sam Darnold remembers he's Sam Darnold?
100%.
And that came off disrespectful. I don't want it to be that way. Without Sam Darnold going into some old habits. That's what I want to say. Because he's been balling. But can't he just have another game where he doesn't, slip into some old ways? That's all.
Yeah, I want to say this real quick, because I got another topic, but this is regarding the Knicks. But hold on 1 second. I'm gonna just go back to that in a second, because the Knicks, they going through their own shit with Giannis. But yeah, all I can say is go Seattle. Number one. I want to see Diggs shed a few tears.
Man, fuck Diggs.
Nah, I know. But now go Seattle. I got him by 7, but hopefully it's more. Defense is ultra aggressive. And I think Sam Darnold, his story to me is a lot more fun than Drake May's story. I get it. Second-year guy, MVP candidate, who wanted him, who didn't want him. I don't care about all of that. Sam Darnold, to me, 2018 draft, for him to be the first one to go to the Super Bowl and ultimately possibly win it, first over Josh, over Lamar, over Baker, bro. Kudos. Like, you can't even hate. Like, you can be a Ravens fan, Bills fan, Cleveland, Tampa, whatever. Like, you cannot hate.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Seattle, they had Geno Smith last year, and they overachieved. They did good, but they said, you know what? We appreciate what you did, Geno, but we're going to ship you off. We're going to put all of our chips in the table, bring Sam Darnold in after a strong year in Minnesota, and let's ride with this defense. And it worked, because they were coming in with an extremely talented offense, was missing the key piece at quarterback to go along with this great defense, and they putting it all together. And out of all the quarterbacks in that draft, all 4 out of 5 look like studs right now. And Darnold, if he gets this, he deserves it.
Yep. But that also is a good segue to where we at now. I think Seattle, to their credit, did things properly. and how they built their team back up, especially after what they went through with Russ Wilson.
They sure climbed out of that, man.
Yeah, I mean they went through a little gray area point where a lot of people were like, well, what they doing? They drafted, DK Metcalf 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a lot that went on in really a short period of time. And obviously Pete Carroll went in separate ways. And you look at where they're at, strong defensively, lengthy corners, aggressive corners. They are aggressive getting after the ball, steady quarterback play with Sam Darnold. Kenneth Walker in the run game doing what he does, good vision, explosive at times, and then having that number one wide receiver in JSN. I talk about that because as we look at the Bills, we look at what Buffalo is doing now going forward with Joe Brady. There's some small similarities. I'll just say there's some small similarities because obviously, once again, not too far away from a coaching change. They get a new coach to take over, and kind of take some of that talent and kind of move forward. And we know there was a quarterback change in there, so there's no quarterback change with us. But this coach essentially inherited a pretty decent team. Got the defense to play back to their caliber of defense that they were doing for the last decade. Got their running back a few years ago, so now Kenneth Walker leading the charge. Got their star wide receiver a few years ago in the draft. So they kind of built through the draft, Tariq Woolen, all those guys. And then they also added in some key veterans, coaching change, all of that. So,
And who would have thought that Cooper Kupp move would have been one that actually made a big difference? Because I thought that was like just a throwaway trade or signing or whatever. And he proved to be a key player in this playoff run. So.
He don't even, and the whole thing is the whole season, it wasn't like he was a guy who gave you 7 and 100 like he used to. He was just giving you 3-4 catches a game and just making plays when they needed him to. And that's kind of why I think going into next year, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, I don't mind keeping Brandon Cooks on the team because I feel like Brandon Cooks can kind of be like they Cooper Kupp, where it's like you got a veteran that's 31, 32 years old who kind of knows his role. And it's just like, hey, just be available when I need you. I don't need you. No, just be available. We got a bunch of other young guys that's going to be on the team. I'm sure we're going to draft 1 or 2 wide receivers. I'm sure we're going to get another stud through free agency. But like a guy like Brandon Cooks to be a veteran within that group, I like that because I think most solid teams, I mean, you look at New England with Steph Diggs, even though it's fuck him, I mean, he's that veteran of that receiver core because most teams need a veteran where it's like, this is what you're supposed to do in this situation, and I'm going to be where you need me to be. Whether that ball come my way or not, I'm going to make myself available, and I'm going to try to do the best I can to make that play for you, for us to keep going. But before I do go too far ahead, because I feel like this is just kind of one of those episodes where a lot of shit didn't happen in the last 2 weeks. McDermott, any last words you want to speak about, for what he gave to this community, what he gave to this team, man? Any flowers you want to give to McDermott, man?
Appreciation, man. He came and took over a team during a dark period, man. I mean, 17 years of no playoffs, from Dick Duran to Mike Mularkey to Rex Ryan to Chan Gailey. Anthony Lynn is interim coach. Like, I mean, I know I'm probably missing 2 coaches in there, but that's a lot of coaches who came in and tried to right the ship and wasn't able to. So, I will always have a high level of appreciation and admiration for what he did, the culture change that he did, the culture that he instilled in that building. Like he was a pillar in changing the entire reputation of the Bills franchise across the league. So, right. For me, I will forever be grateful for what he did. To the coaching job his first year to actually get that team to the playoffs. And, he was a great ambassador for the team, for the city, for the community. So, for me, there's nothing but gratitude, man. He held it down. Granted, we don't know these coaches and these players personally, but right. He was able to have, or at least I was able to have, a sense of pride to be like, yo, that's my coach. Like he he came into this city, came into this community, and jumped right in. And for me, I would always have that appreciation for him.
Yeah, and I'll just say quickly before we start giving our flowers to or discussing the the transition into Brady, but I'll just say with McDermott, man, I truly appreciate him. Number one, for being a coach that broke the drought, right? We talked about the drought before on previous episodes. Like that was a monumental moment for our generation. For us in our 30 plus range, 30 to 40, I'll just call it. Most of us knew nothing but not making the playoffs. Most of us knew nothing but coming up short. He came along, changed the culture, kind of like brought that hard hat mentality back to Buffalo, but with like some aggressiveness, with like some, he just had a vibe about him where it wasn't like it was cool or anything, but it was just like,
I'm here to work.
Yeah, it was respectable. And that was coming off the heels of Rex Ryan and a bunch of other cats who like tried to sell us a dream that was just like, okay, you can pound the tables, you can rah, but like, man, we try and win football games. And like, I appreciate him for that because that was one of my most enjoyable, and even though it came with some shit, because Nathan Peterman did play that year and threw 5 picks, but that was one of my most enjoyable stretches.
1/2, that's crazy.
That shit was crazy. I was in Syracuse, like laughing my ass off, but that was one of the most enjoyable stretches I had in that last 5 to 6 weeks of that season, man. Like that, McDermott kind of embracing that too. And that was the thing that I love that you mentioned too, is like he embraced everything Buffalo. He embraced the fact that he knew what winning meant to this community. So shout out to McDermott, man. We love you, coach. We appreciate you. And this ain't even like he gonna listen, but like for those who do listen, like it is real love. And that's why I get why folks was emotional. I just always tell people, if you're gonna be emotional, make sure you try to keep it in check, because it's like, yo, this is sports. And with sports, it's a business. People got to remember that. And that's the funniest part to me, is when I see a lot of reactions, is like, I love I love passionate fans to a certain extent. But it's like, at some point, how long you been a fan? I've been a fan of sports since I was a kid. I've seen players, coaches come and go so many times.
Right.
That I've learned, like, yo, I can get attached, but I gotta learn, like, damn, it's the part of the business. You know what I mean? My early one, real quick before we get into Joe Brady, was when Shaq left Orlando, mid-90s, went to LA. I was fake crushed because I'm like, yo, Shaq, how you gonna leave Penny?
That's how I felt. My first ever jersey was a Penny Hardaway jersey. I'm like, Orlando, they about to go places. This is about to be the one.
Them boys is going back-to-back finals, and my man Shaq said, "Nah, I want Hollywood." I didn't understand that. I'm 8 years old. I'm like, yo, bro, like, we doing that? So I learned that business is business early. And then go over to the NFL side. Think about how many coaches we went through, how many players that came and went and left Buffalo for business reasons, for failure performance. Like, you just learn, like, you got to run with it. And like with McDermott, I get it. He was from a human standpoint, he was such a good guy that the community didn't want to let him go. And especially in the fashion that we lost that game. Like, I get it. 5 turnovers, Josh crying, Deion crying, everybody crying. It was such an emotional 48 hours. I get it. But to fast forward to today, to now, I think 80% of those fans who still voted against Joe Brady on that poll, I think they feeling a little bit better now, because it's like, you got to. Yeah, the poll was crazy, but I remember talking to somebody at work. I say, yo, that poll, or if you was the poll fans, it got to be like a 90% disapproval, because fans are so wrecked up emotionally, they don't even want to accept. Now, I mean, you could have said you was getting fucking, whoever, Lombardi from the grave. Like, you could have brought in your best coach, and the Bills fans would have been like, nah, but he ain't McDermott. Like,
right.
Hold on, just a couple of years ago, you ain't even want this nigga. So
months,
right? Just a couple months, right? So it's just funny how things switched up, but I get it. This is a community that really embraces people who embrace the community, right? Like we keep going back to the word community, but that's what Buffalo is. Like we get a hold of somebody and someone, just like how everybody loves Josh Allen. Hopefully he don't never go nowhere. But the way people love Josh Allen, that's the way people do. They hold on to shit. I can't let go. Like, dog, it's still sports. It's entertainment. It's a business, and things change out of our control. Thing I went back to before I let you, give your, rundown on who you thought it should have been or whatever. It's like thing I came back to was like we don't control none of this shit.
None of it.
We just gotta, what I mean. If you want to burn your jersey and give up your fandom, go ahead.
Yeah, that's silly. And my thought behind it all too, when I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, this is a business, and the owner of the team has a right to do whatever the hell he wants with his team, whether I like it, whether I agree with it or not.
Right.
And when they did the press conference and said he was in the locker room and saw it, and that's what he based it on, bro, you put up a couple $1 billion for this company, so you can do whatever the hell you want and really don't have to answer to nobody. And that's what I just try to remember. Like, yo, bro, this is business, and this is his baby, and he can do with it whatever he wants. So at the end of the day, it's like shit. It is what it is. I was sad just because I didn't want to see, McDermott go because, the impact that he had, but also know that, sometimes when you need to take a step, you got to shake some shit up.
Yep.
So, and that's what I felt. And I'm like, all right, it's time.
All right, let's get it. We gotta do what we gotta do. 24 hours. But so we got down, obviously, and we gotta go through all the candidates, but everything got narrowed down within about 7 to 10 days. And obviously we landed on Joe Brady, the OC, a person who I've been critical of at times, screen pass poppy, route concepts, all of that. He's been criticized. He's also been shown a lot of love nationally. I think throughout the year he showed his ability to, if a play works, he gonna run that play until you stop it. And he'll set your ass up too. He'll set you up. So I'll start with initial thoughts, and then how do you feel after his press? His press release. So initial thoughts, and then how you feeling after kind of hearing what he had to say.
Initial thoughts, I was a little surprised. And I'll say that just kind of based more on the initial press conference when they fired Coach McDermott.
Yeah.
When they put a lot of blame and emphasis on the coaching, they kind of put emphasis on they felt the roster was great, good coaching, but not good enough. So at that point, I'm like, okay, in my head, you distancing yourself from everybody that's on board. Like, we want a whole new coaching staff, clean house, fresh ideas, fresh vision, fresh person, yada, yada, yada. So that's why I thought Joe Brady wasn't going to be the pick. What I wanted, I didn't have a particular person that I was like really banging the door down for, but I did want a coach more on the offensive side of the ball. I preferred one of the younger coaches just for that youthful energy. Someone that can come in here and grow into the position, someone that can be here for some years if they can do what they got to do. But at the end of the day, Joe Brady fits that bill too. So once they announced that, I'm like, okay. For me, it checked off the boxes of what I was looking for in a coach. Yes, he's been here for a couple years, so he has blame. We watch every single play, so we see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
And the bad and the ugly, every other coach has that as well.
Yeah,
it's just magnified because he's been on our team. But if you look at Udinski, or you look at Dayball, or you look at any of the other coaches that we interviewed, they have their flaws too, just like anybody else.
Right. We just don't see every game.
Exactly. I mean, Joe Brady is here, so we see it. We see every single play. So, I think that microscope is on him a lot more than the other coaches. Because, granted, a lot of Bills fans never even heard the name Grant Udinski before 2 weeks ago. And so many were crying and complaining that we didn't get him. Or half the people never heard of Clint Kubiak a month ago, and because we didn't wait for him, now the front office is the dumbest people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I feel you, but just because they didn't hire the person that you wanted doesn't mean it's wrong, or doesn't mean it's right either.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want them to have the right person, and no matter who they hired, you ain't gonna know in January if that's the right person or not. We're not gonna know that for months down the line. I wanted somebody young. I wanted somebody with some creativity and some innovation. And his offense does have some very good aspects to it.
Yeah.
He's very meticulous about what he does. Like, he doesn't do anything for no reason.
Yeah, he always has a plan ahead.
Yeah, there's a purpose for everything, for every motion, for every concept, for every setup. There's something to play off of that, and I appreciate that. So for him, and then after seeing the interview today, I just realized more and more, like, yes, he was on the staff, but he's not Sean McDermott.
Right.
So giving him the reins as coach, this is a fresh start. You got a fresh energy, much, much, much different personality. So like you get the feel of that new vision that they're looking for without doing a full rebuild. Because if you would have fired the GM, you would have fired the coaches and clean house everywhere. Now you got a full rebuild and you have no idea how that's going to play out. So by keeping a GM in that front office in place, you kind of keep a little bit of stability from that aspect, and then giving Brady the keys and allow him to run things as he see fit. So as of right now, man, I don't have any issues with the hire. When it first happened, I didn't have any issues. I didn't really want Dable. That was kind of like my only one or Mike McDaniel. I didn't want McDaniel to come here, but he never interviewed anyways. But Dable, I just didn't like the tenure in the Giants. I didn't really love his demeanor. A little bit too emotional when it comes to how he handles stuff on the sideline itself.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to spend the block back with him. But even then, if that would have happened, I wouldn't have been upset. It's just it wouldn't have been my first choice.
Right. Yeah. I think Dable was like in my bottom 3 if I had 1, 2, 3. Because I same thing you said about Udinski and even Kubiak is like 2 months ago I wasn't even thinking about those guys. So I was trying to rush to do homework on both of those.
Yeah, like from what I heard, I mean, I'd been fine.
Like you hear about stuff, but like to sit there and be like, I gotta have Kubiak, I gotta have Udinski. Like I couldn't do that because it's like I don't have enough information to sit there, other than reading, little pieces online. I don't know. But anyways, my point of view though, I mean, my initial reaction was definitely at first disappointment because I did want something fresh outside the building. I was more so, I didn't even really have a particular person, kind of like you alluded to, but like I just wanted something that they did, like something fresh, brand new, outside the building. And Joe Brady, to me, just because of some of the things that I criticize him about, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like if I had a top 5 list, he might have been number 5. So I'm not going to say like he was on my like please do not contact list, but like he wasn't in my top 2 or 3. But after, I don't know, honestly, it didn't even take me that long. After 3 or 4 hours, I'm even gonna say 24. Excuse me. I started to be like, you know what? The way y'all acting, y'all so dramatic about why this is not gonna work.
So dramatic.
I'm starting to think that this will work just because y'all are so far left. So
yeah,
I quit. Yeah, go ahead.
No, and what thing I was saying that like it was so many negative comments about it, and so many things like they just hired a yes man and this and that. I'm just like that's mad disrespectful to Joe Brady before you even hear a word out of his mouth about it. Just assume that he just be a yes man. I'm like that's mad disrespectful just to say that, and you have no idea anything about him outside of the interviews that he do weekly, just talking about the game. So like that's mad disrespectful in my opinion. Let's even have that opinion. And also people like, well, he just hired him because they know him. I'm like, but you also are failing to realize if this hire don't work out, being gone. So he's not gonna make a choice just because he's here. Like his future is on the line here too. So he has to get this right.
He got to get it right, just like the quarterback. Yeah. So
so like they kept saying, well, Josh made the hire, somebody he wanted or a friend of his. I'm like, bro, if I know my ass is on the line, I'm not gonna hire somebody just because when I know this is the only shot I have at it. Absolutely not. Yeah, that don't even make sense to me.
Yeah, and that's why I like the way That's why I like the way the Bills handled it, because if you are traveling tomorrow, icy conditions, shut down going east. Oh no, I'm not leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving Saturday. Anyways,
You ain't leaving Saturday either.
nah. Hopefully. I mean,
So I might have to.
I'm saying like Saturday, like as far as going to Syracuse, I'm about to go see my son too. Yeah, but yeah, everything looks good. But my dad was just trying to give me a heads up. But anyways, yeah, just the comments. I just thought it was funny because I was ready to bookmark everything, but I'm like slam dunking on Bills fans. It's not gonna feel as good, but I was
gotta
like,
get out, bro. I just need to get off Twitter, man. I really
well, right. Twitter's a toxic place when it comes to instant reactions, right? Like that's what that app is for. Like you get instant news, right? You know, found out about all that shit going on in Minneapolis through Twitter and all of that. But like you also are getting instant comments, instant reactions. People are just like going off. But I'm like, I don't want to have to come back and dunk on y'all, but I hope that y'all know, you know, just like the Josh Allen experience, a year from now, 2 years from now, them same posts that you wrote up under, dogging them and dogging this and dogging that. I hope y'all go back and look at y'all tweets and see them, and somebody else, you know, put y'all on freezing cold takes or whatever and be like, damn, y'all was harsh with a capital A. Like, because it was like, it's not even the fact that people was like questioning and being like, oh man, like I don't know. It was literally like, yeah, I'm you know what? I think I'm a New England fan. You know what? Fuck the Bills. I'm like, damn, yo, hold on. Like, y'all ready to give up everything because y'all don't agree with the choice that they've made. So, like, for me, again, I talked about this when we first joined this, when we got on this episode. I said, yo, we done been through so much as Bills fans. For some of y'all motherfuckers to jump ship over a coaching decision, over a new hire from a guy within that knows the teams, that knows Josh, I hate to pull that card, but y'all not real thorough fans. Y'all really ain't go through the trenches. Then if what happened in the last 7 days ruffled your feathers,
right?
Where was you at for the drought? Where was you at? And I know this was past some people's time, but it's 4 Super Bowls. No, like,
where was you at when we starting George Wilson at safety and Cole Simpson and Angelo Crowell? Like,
Keith Ellison, you know
like
what I mean? Ryan Denny.
We had some lean times, bro.
Nigga, Ashton your booty. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Like, it was some bad times.
Like, you know what I mean? Tyler Thigpen, Thad Lewis. I mean, the list goes on, but it's just like,
bro, I just found out Thad Lewis is a coach somewhere.
Yeah, he coaching out there. I mean, it's a lot of them coaching now, but like,
yeah, it's like that. Bobby Shaw, make me feel, oh, come on, man. It get early. Brian Scott, like, it was some names like, yo, we really.
James Hardy, rest in peace. Like, y'all comparing Keon Coleman to James Hardy damn near. Y'all talking about a bus. Rest in peace, James Hardy. James Hardy was a bus.
He will always have that catch though against Jacksonville.
100%.
Yeah, always had that one catch.
That one. Meanwhile, Keon got like 9 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Like, stop playing, bro. Stop playing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate when fans get too spoiled to remember that shit. Like, when did you just start becoming a fan? Oh, when Josh Allen got on the team?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cute. I've been there. Alex Van Pelt. Now, I mean, you talk about completing a screen pass. My man couldn't complete a screen pass back then. Yeah. What we talking about? Jonathan Linton and them boys. Sean Bryce.
Late stage. Trent Edwards was rough.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got Fitz throwing to David Nelson and Donald Jones and like
the list
of top receivers.
Listen, the list goes on, but people get too caught up in we got Josh Allen, so
they forget what it was. Granted, obviously, you don't want to compare your team to the past of what you want to compare them to the rest of the league now. But again, as Bills fans, you have to also remember where we did this come from. And yes, we want to win a Super Bowl just as bad as the next man, but like you still have to try to keep things in perspective.
Listen, it's different ways to get there, and that's my main point. Like 100%. I said, it's not supposed to be no long episode, but it's different ways to get to the Super Bowl. And if this year's Super Bowl taught us anything, If you make a change at the coaching position or whatever and tweak a couple things around your roster, guess what?
Don't have to take long.
You
1 year.
Look at New England, bro. Look at Seattle. Seattle, 2 years removed from a fake rebuild. New England, 1 year removed. It don't take all that. And people like, oh my gosh, but man, if y'all don't put that tissue away, y'all motherfuckers ready to hold a whole service for y'all about to do a whole candlelight service for Sean McDermott.
Yeah, that signed to start a petition to bring him back. I say, yo, come on, man, let that go. It's a wrap.
Yo, listen, 50,000 plus? Is y'all out of y'all mind?
I said there was not 50,000 people beating the drum for him to stay before this happened.
There was some games
the last 4 years. Everybody fire McDermott. McDermott got to go. McDermott got to go. Fire McDermott. And all of a sudden he gets fired, and now it's the complete opposite. I'm like, yo, this is weird. It's weird. The whole thing is weird.
Y'all, again, it's reality and living in delusional world. Like, you have to remember, like, this is a business. And if you don't have the results, yes, you can point at the quarterback for his flaws. And guess what? As I pointed to a couple weeks ago, there's a reason why Josh Allen was crying. He knew he fucked up.
But at the end of the day, what's the old saying? When the captain go down with the ship. Listen. And if the ship is sinking, that captain go down with it. For the last 9 years, they've been trying to get to the Super Bowl. They've had some great seasons in there, but they have not got to the ultimate prize. They haven't even gotten there. So that captain needed to go down with the ship.
Super Bowl shit. Zach Taylor got to the damn Super Bowl. Come on. But anyways, shout out to because I don't even think I got to the point where he's at after the press conference. But shout out to Joe Brady. You know, great mention of his wife, his kids, and he came off very, very, very. He came off very well. I gave him an A grade.
Yeah, like he crushed today. Like, did you see the interview on Pat McAfee show from him today too?
I saw bits and pieces. I
watched that too. Again, even more insight into who he is and the complete contrast he is from Sean McDermott. It's a completely different personality. Not saying that's better or worse, but just a complete different personality to what we've had at head coach. And you know, I think he showed himself very well today. You know, who he gets as coordinator is definitely going to make a big difference on people's opinion of him, but he's going to have to nail those positions down too, because you know who he has to run that defense is going to be huge. And you know, most of our coaches again poach left and right at this point, so they're going to have to completely rebuild that coaching staff too. But you know, it's not a bad thing, man. It's just get the people in there that can get the job done and see how this team respond. But I think they'll respond good, man. I think the energy he's going to bring, I think the usefulness that he brings, the ability to craft a good offense. And, you know, at the end of the day, if he can have sustained success, we don't have to keep replenishing offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way too.
Yeah, 100%. One thing I will wrap it up with, because I do want to speak about the coordinator situation. We know that he will be calling plays on offense. I thought he said some interesting things about the defense, which wanted to get your opinion on like which direction you feel like he should go for coordinator, because I feel like he brought up some interesting points about how he wants his defense to look. You know, kind of like he said from an offensive and defense standpoint, he wants teams to get prepared for them, not the other way around. You know, hey, I'm not game planning for the Falcons. I want them to be focused on shit. They do this defensively.
Right.
We got to figure out how to get around all of the wild, chaotic shit they're going to be doing. So, like, there was definitely some things in there that made me think, you know, Jim Leonard vibes, right? You know,
yeah, I think he's looking definitely for a much more aggressive attacking defense,
right?
Like not sitting back and reading and reacting, but we're going to be the one dictating. We're going to be
and
we're going to be the ones that's coming.
And I thought that was big because to me, I'm pretty sure Brandon Beane and those guys, when they heard that was something that they probably wanted to hear, because we know as good of a defensive coach as McDermott was, and shout out to Babbage too, and best of wishes to him. Like
his system was what his system was.
right. It was just what it was. And that's no disrespect to him, Frazier, all them. But like they played a 4-3 defense, whether it was zone, man, whatever.
They're not gonna beat us over the top. We're gonna do a
Right.
good job of disguising.
100%.
And
Everybody
that's
know
what
they
we have.
wrong. And that's why certain guys didn't work out in that defense, right? The Kyrie Elams, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at it now from Brady's perspective, and I think the good thing about an offensive coordinator in his position is that they know what defenses like really cause the most confusion. They know what defenses are the biggest headaches. I mean, shit. He saw 3 or 4 this year. You talk about Denver, you talk about Atlanta, you talk about a couple others or Houston. Like
Yeah,
he saw
Jacksonville.
yeah, he saw some looks that was like, damn, I hate when we play a style like this or a defense like this. So I can only imagine that he's thinking about ways he can change certain things on that side and like who he kind of would love to have coaching that side of the field. So the now that we about to have a fresh voice over there, and I hope it's a fresh voice. Like I said, I know they got people from within that they can elevate, promote, whatever. But man, Jim Leonard, Schwartz, Raheem Morris, I mean, is a wild card, but I'm looking forward to that next hire on that side of the football because I love good defense. And not only do I love good defense, but I like an aggressive defense. And if the Bills want to get back to the Bills of the old days when you knew no matter what, if their offense was mid, you knew the Bills had a defense that was like, damn, they're gonna bring it. But
Right.
if they can have a defense this coming season that you just got to be like, God damn it, we're gonna have to prepare for them because they coming. I'm talking top 5, top 2, top 1. Fuck it. You know what I mean? All the time we selling for being number 2, number 3, and all that shit, middle of the pack and run defense and all of that. Man, I want us to be so versatile, so aggressive that like teams are like, it's not just Josh Allen and Bills, but it's Josh Allen, it's James Cook, it's the defense, it's their corners, it's their safeties, it's their linebackers. Got to watch out for the edge guys. Like that's the type of complete team that they're gonna need to really put together to win a Super Bowl. And I think in a nutshell, that's what I got from their conversation, at the press conference was like, we not just trying to make it just Josh Allen versus the world. We trying to put together a team that you really gotta put on your bifocals and really
Right.
do some studying because we coming and we not coming quiet. You know what I mean? I like you said, they say there ain't gonna be no quiet team. We gonna make noise. I'm gonna let my players be them. Within the team structure. And I like the vote of confidence that he gave Keon too on some wild card shit. So that was
I think that was necessary too. Like again, they just said, no, he's gonna be here. Okay. I'm glad they're gonna give him every chance to step up.
that was dope. But I will say this because I know we gave our spill on Coach Brady. We are getting into the off season. For those who follow us, I do want to make sure I say this before I send people off. Please find us on Instagram, Twitter. I'll make sure I do a better job of leaving that information in the description because in the off season, I like to say sometimes we go bi-weekly, sometimes it's less than that because sometimes we'll hit y'all up right before free agency or right after free agency or right before the draft. We'll do 3 or 4 episodes. So please follow us for updates on all of our apps. Subscribe to our YouTube because we hate to see the season go like this. I mean, I would have loved to come in here after, AFC divisional round and be like, hey, we getting ready for the Super Bowl this week.
Yeah, we get to the Super Bowl. We got an episode every day, dog. We ain't got locked on Bill stuff.
Live. that type of run, we gotta go live every day and tap in because I'm already getting people that's asking for my opinion and shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm not Marcus Spears. I don't know, but I can tell you how I feel. But you know what I mean? Like we trying to build it brick by brick right now. But no, for real, y'all, I do want to say I do appreciate all of you guys every season that we do this. This is our 4th season doing a full regular season.
Maybe
for our listeners.
We lose track. We don't know what season this is.
I know, yeah. I believe it was our 4th.
Could be 5.
It could be 5, 6. Nah, but I believe I believe this is our 4th season. I truly want to thank y'all because this is not easy. Some weeks after losses, after disappointing endings, it is not easy to get up here and talk, Bills football. I mean, we just talked about how some fans react. To come on here and give a honest perspective, but also not lose our minds over every single detail, over every single decision. That's a skill in itself as a fan. But being a sports fan my entire life, I enjoy the highs and the lows. It's rough. You get through it though. 24
With the
hours.
territory being a sports fan, though.
Yeah, it's bro. This the shit, man. We see the Sabres right now. They balling. I mean, I got my Knicks. Like it. Whoever you root for, Syracuse right now pissing me off. Like you gonna go through all of that, but it's that much joy when they do win, when they do get the championship. When they do break the playoff drought like the Sabres are about to do. Like it's rewarding. So to my fans out there that's still undecided if they want to hop back on the wagon, just think about all them horrible times,
right?
And you'll be okay.
Yep.
As I always tell people, Josh Allen on the team. That's why when people was reacting last week, like, yo, we ain't
They
going.
not even gonna make the playoffs. They about to crumble. I say, yeah, come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
Get out your emotions, man. Let's get back to logic.
Listen, don't get me started, man. I just said I was trying to close up, but like, come on, bro. Y'all was like, we not going to the playoffs with Josh Allen as a quarterback and James Cook as the running back. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Like y'all,
What they say, make it make sense, bro.
It don't make no sense. Like y'all just chatting.
Yeah, just
we
talking.
got Josh Allen, and we got arguably one of the best running backs in the league, and y'all like, yeah, that don't matter. We're not
gonna make the playoffs. I say, yo, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this roster took a lot of heat this season. This roster was not trash.
Come on, man. 12 wins and what people call an off year.
Yeah, and this roster was not the best in the league, but it was far from trash. And people are talking or have been talking about this Bills like there's literally no talent on this team outside of Josh, and that's not the case.
Not top 5 O-line, top 5 running back, top 5 tight end room, like special teams was top 10. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, man.
Pass defense, top 5 in the league. Like, man, listen, y'all just be chatting, just emotional. And like I said, you are allowed a little bit of time. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit because I do it sometimes too. Y'all allowed a little bit of time. After that, pull your panties up.
Hey, pull your drawers back up, baby.
Yeah, just gotta be real. Like, come on. Y'all ain't real. Y'all ain't been through the trenches, man. Y'all haven't really been through the trenches. Man. That's all that tell me.
For real.
I ain't been through the trenches enough.
Like, man,
I've been deep. I've been deep. Y'all can't tell me nothing. I ain't even experienced the Super Bowl losses. That would have really scarred me. But like, man, stop playing with me, y'all. Yeah.
You go through a drought. You should be able to go through anything as a fan.
Bro, I got so many scars as a fan. Like, when we find a coach. Oh, okay, man, listen, love you. Know what I mean? Get a little bit of out the way. Next day, wake up. All right, shit, what we looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to get over it. I got too much Bills gear. I told somebody at work the other day.
Got way too much Bills gear.
So what I'm supposed to do? Take the bin and throw it down the stairs?
Pretty much.
But what? You anyways. Any last words from you, man?
Hey, man. No, man. We just appreciate y'all rocking with us for another season, man. I'm looking forward to see how this coaching search plays out. Again, that'll dictate some what this team needs to do from a roster development standpoint. It'll dictate what free agency looks like, what the draft looks like. So I'm excited to see how the coordinators play out. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what the Bills do moving forward, man. I'm looking forward to it. That's all I got, man. But definitely appreciate y'all, sticking with us for another season.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir, man. So this is Val. That's my boy Z over there. Like I said, it'll probably be a few weeks before we tap back in, but when we do, please subscribe. You know what I mean? Follow us, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We will be giving updates when our next episode drops, but it's technically the off season, so it could be 8 months from now, it could be 8 days from now. You never know. But nah, for real, we appreciate you all. As always, go Bills. Shout out to Joe Brady, shout out to Coach McDermott. But on to the next one, baby. As we always say, on to the next one. Upward. Let's go get that Super Bowl. Josh Allen, heal up, and go Seahawks. All right.
Go what they say, go Birds, whatever they say, go.
Whatever they say.
Both man, go Hawks, go.
Yeah,
I don't know what they say, but all that.
All that. We ain't no Pats Nation over here, baby. Bye. Go Buffalo, go Bills, go Sabres, go Cuse, go Knicks. We here, baby. We'll catch y'all in a few weeks. All right. Peace out. Peace.